What's that? Like what? There is the Route 66 drive-in. I don't know where it's at, but I don't think it's too far. I don't know. Check it out. See if it. Do I want to? No, thank you. Okay. That will be warm by the time we need it. So let's go ahead and start. Computer, set a 1 hour timer. There we go, starting now. All right, so first things first, we're going to get sausage, chorizo, and our chicken. This is our chicken. It's been soaking in buttermilk, combination of buttermilk, paprika, dill, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper. We are allowed to marinate things ahead of time on the show, so I'm considering that marinating. And there we go, oven's ready, up to temperature. Okay, and chorizo. So we've got a pound of regular sausage, and how much is this? This is 9 ounces of chorizo. This is a 2 sausage gravy. It's delicious. Happens to be my personal favorite thing for a breakfast gravy. Okay, so I gotta tend to this sausage for just a minute. Guys, if you've never seen me make browned ground meat before, if you just put it in a high-sided pot like this and move it around, I know that I don't have a stove cam right now. I wanted you guys over there on the prep board because I won't always be here. I just start here. But anyway, you just put it in a high-sided pot like this and keep stirring it like this. Eventually, it will break down into very, very small granules. And that's exactly how like Taco Bell makes their taco meat so small. Or why whenever you get tacos at a restaurant, it's so small, is because they want to brown off big batches at a time. So they do it in a big pot like this, and they just kind of keep stirring until everything's brown. Well, that's how it ends up small. So that's what we do here. Small granules. Sounds intriguing. So intriguing. So anyway, sorry, I know that I've got my back to the camera a lot right now, but this is just like the opening stages. I'll bring you guys over here whenever we're ready to finish up, but most of our stuff is going to take place over there with you guys here in just a minute. What's that? This is the breading for the chicken. This is the chicken soaking in a combination of buttermilk, salt, pepper, paprika, dill, onion powder, garlic powder, and that's it. And that is boneless, skinless chicken breast, by the way. I'm a big thigh fan, but for country fried chicken, it's got to be the white meat. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be, but that's how I've always had it. All right, now we've got our sausage done. Go ahead and put that out on a plate on the side. All right, we kicked our heat down to a pretty medium-low, or a pretty low side of medium-low, I should say. And that'll give us a chance to start doing other things while this roux starts doing its thing. So into this pot goes the roux, which is just equal parts fat and flour. I like to build my gravy off of either bacon fat or butter, at least breakfast gravy. In this particular instance, I don't have enough bacon fat left over, so to butter we go. So half a stick of butter, which is a 1/4 cup. Let that butter melt for just a second. Okay, has made your tummy start talking. What, just the smells? Okay, our fryer oil is plenty hot. We're gonna turn that way down because it got too hot on us. It got away from us. It's up to 400 right now, but that's okay. We got time for it to cool. All right, so our butter's melted. I'm adding a 1/4 cup of flour to match the 1/4 cup of butter in there. What this does, if you don't know about roux, I go over this every time I make roux, but basically if you don't know about roux, whenever you first add flour to the fat, it toasts the flour and it removes a lot of that raw flour, kind of raw cereal flavor to it. Okay, now the toasting of that flour, the deeper you toast it, the more other flavors it brings to the party, but the less ability it has to thicken anything. So a blonde roux can thicken pretty well, and a really dark roux thickens much less well. On average, if you're making a blonde or peanut butter roux, which is, you know, whenever you keep on toasting it, keep toasting it until it looks like peanut butter, that's a peanut butter roux. A blonde or a peanut butter roux, about a 1/4 cup fat and a 1/4 cup of flour will thicken about 32 ounces or 1 quart of liquid. So that's a good rule of thumb whenever you're wanting to know how much roux to use to make a sauce as thick as you want. But okay, I've got the heat down lower on this, and we're just going to let that roux get a little darker because I like dark roux to make my gravy with. Okay, up next on the list is to bread the chicken. So let's bread the chicken. All right. So just grab our chicken out of the buttermilk. Make sure you got buttermilk coating all the different surfaces. And then we're just going to drop it straight into here. And of course, you should always do a better job than I do of keeping your wet hand, dry hand separate, but I don't know. I'm only doing 3 pieces of chicken, so I'm kind of not really paying attention. I guess if I did an assembly line, I would care much more, but there's only a few pieces here, so. Now all I'm doing is I'm just making sure to get this thoroughly coated. That buttermilk will sponge up a lot of that flour. And then we'll just set it over here on this little rack. Jan, what's going on, man? How are you? It's great to see you. So this is our buttermilk soaked chicken for country fried chicken. Soaked in buttermilk, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and a little bit of dill. The flour, as it soaks on here, it'll become like a batter, and that's kind of what we want. It makes for less flour coming off in the fryer oil, so it leaves our fryer oil a little cleaner, and it makes for a crunchier final product on the chicken. All right, flip it over. And take the rest of this and just put it on here, right? It'll soak up whatever it wants and it'll leave behind whatever it doesn't. So that's why we did this now, is so we've got a little time to let that breading soak and do its thing. All right, so there's that done. All right, got all the chicken and stuff washed off our hands. Grab a filter towel because I know that that's coming up next. Go ahead and set this over here. Check our roux, give it a stir. Normally you can't let roux sit like this, but I've turned my heat way down low just so that it gives me the free time to be able to do what I need to do and leave this set on its own. But it is still very slowly toasting up. We'll crank the heat up whenever we're ready to make gravy. Let's see. Jan's good. Hiding out from the rain right now and craving breakfast for supper now after seeing all this. Jan, what part of the world are you in right now? Or usually? Okay. Clear the flour off my cutting board real quick. Flip the board. Nova Scotia, let's go. Okay, now we're down to the taters, so let's do the taters.
We should get a world map and put it up on the board every time we get a place.
That would be cool. Like a pin board with a map. Yep. I bet smarter people than us probably know how to do that, like on stream, like as just like a widget or something.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Might be smarter folks out there, but not many are better cooks. Yeah, I think it's neat. Just I think it's neat to see kind of how far the reach is. Like honestly, there are people that watch from Canada. There are people that watch from Poland. There are people that watch like and watch me. Like it's weird to me. I think it's awesome.
Right?
No, there we go. There's the third. All right, so if I fail, the potatoes are definitely kind of a choke point of this process. I will say that.
How much time is left on the timer?
Okay, so to make hash browns, if you don't know how to make hash browns from whole potatoes, start with a bucket of water and a mandolin right here. Hey, Rusty, what's going on, brother? I get a shout out for Rusty Rhymes in the Heezy. Happy Sunday, my friend.
He just said he's out because you're making hash browns.
You're out because I'm. That's right, I forget. You get triggered by hash browns. This is a potential practice round for the Teeds Cooking Challenge. See if I can do big country breakfast as my signature dish. I've got a timer rolling. I've got 44 minutes left to make it. So far, we've got, some prep done. We're working on it. It's all right. They'll be done shortly, Rusty. And we'll move on to one of the other 5 things that's on the menu. What is it that you don't like about hash browns? Because to me, I feel like it's one of the finer forms of potato if you know what you're doing. And I've genuinely been curious ever since I found out that you didn't like them. All right, potatoes grated. Now we just kind of mix them around in here in this water. And what I'm going to do is pour this over a flour sack towel. This is one of the handiest kitchen tools ever to exist. The flour sack towel works like a cheesecloth, but it filters way better, and it's reusable and it's very durable, so you can just wash it and reuse it. You can squeeze the crap out of stuff, which is what we're going to do. Works really good for filtering broths, for filtering sauces, for filtering your fryer grease whenever you're done. Like we're going to do a country fried steak today, well, country fried chicken anyway. And once we're done with the fryer oil, you can just filter it through this towel, and then you use it again so that it doesn't cost so much to fry things all the time. Alright guys, so all I've done here is I've just poured all those potatoes that we just shredded into this flour sack towel. And now we're going to just squeeze the ever-loving crap out of them and get all of that extra water out of there. more water you can get out of here, the better. So really, really give it a good squeeze. All right, that's probably good enough. All right, now our hash browns are ready. Let's check the temperature on our cream. We are heating up heavy cream back here. Let's see. Need to stir.
Just popped in.
Who did?
Greek boy.
Greek boy, what's going on, Greek? Welcome in. Let's see. Helps if you turn the thermometer on, eh? Oh, that's way too hot. Oh well. It's alright. We can cool it down. Okay, so all we did was we heated this cream. Ideally, we would have heated it to 100 degrees. I've got it right now at about 110. I've got to cool it off real quick.
Squeeze it.
Indeed, I was. So the reason we bring our temperature up on this cream, so this is what makes these the easiest biscuits you will ever see in your whole entire life, is we don't cut in butter, and we don't have to be super delicate with the fats and everything like that, and the flour and the gluten development and all that nonsense. We ain't got to worry about any of that. We're just going to use heavy cream because it's got 35% fat content in it, and that's our fat for the biscuit. But you have to heat it up first, because whenever it's out of the fridge, the butter solids that are in there, they're in tiny little balls, and you have to heat it up to about 95 to 100 degrees to get those little balls to melt and make it into liquid like this. And then you just stir it into your dry ingredients, and they are perfect drop biscuits every time. It's so easy and so good. So this is our mix for our biscuits.